I like to make everything. I'm mad about designing everything around me. We're not making jewelry. We bring a new concept of seeing jewelry that is possible into this world. And without Galatea, this kind of jewelry would never exist. I'm an artist, so I don't want to have a jewelry company. I'm not a businessman. I'm an artist. I create art. I'm using gold, silver, gemstone and create art out of it. It happened to be small instead of giant big size. To explain the difference between artists and just jewelry making, like a musician, for example. You have someone play a piano. If you're a master musician, you walk by, you can listen and hear that person is out of tune, out of key, or maybe there are not enough feelings in the way that he plays his piano. If you don't know how to play music, obviously you pass by, somebody can make a lot of noise and it's like, oh my God, what I'm listening to is horrible. But then if you pass by a master musician and then it's the same song, but it's just beautiful and it just have great feeling, but you don't understand how it even happened, you know? And I think that's the difference between my work compared with a lot of other companies. I usually create everything that inspire me, that give me some sense of curiosity about it. For example, let's say I sit by the water and I toss a pebble in a pond, yeah? And I watch the rings of water roll. I'm sure you've done that. Why? Why do you do that? What pleasure brings you to do that? What is the DNA within this imagery that you can just pull it out from, so you can create jewelry out of it? So for example, then I would create a piece of jewelry and I would carve with the same motion of the water and I create an image out of it. And when you look at it, you feel pleasant. And that's how I get most of my inspiration from. I call it the natural beauty in the universe, you know. A seashell, why do you looking at the seashell? Why it have a spiral? And why do you look at it? Because there's something is pleasant about it, you know. Why is it a butterfly wing? It's beautiful to you. You need to figure that out. Why a CD is beautiful to you? You need to figure it out. So to me, anything that is naturally beautiful in the universe, I like to collect them and learn from them and make jewelry out of them. I think the Galatea Pearl is really unique. I come along and I say, you know, I want to put the gemstones inside the pearl and trying to let an oyster grow around it and then carve it to see light and color exposed from the inside of a pearl, which is you're not supposed to do. In the pearl industry, it's a taboo for you to actually touch a pearl. A pearl is supposed to be perfect. You can't just go and put something in there and carve it. You ruin the values of things. But I'm the kind of guy who have no understanding what value means to me, except, you know, you create something, and as an artist, you create meanings out of something and you share the feeling that you create that will have a value. And nobody figured out in the past to be able to accomplish that. So I get my egotistical mentality, say, yes, I can do it, you know, and I'm that kind of guy who like to, oh yeah, I want to make it possible. And it wasn't easy. It took me about 5 years to make it work. But I make it happen, and I think that's a gem I brought into this world. How do I come up with the diamond in the pearl collection? You know, it's like a painting. When you paint a painting that expresses love, you need to know what it meant to you. So first, I need to define what it means to me, not in the dictionary, you know. So to me, I realized love is not about having a good time all the time. Anybody can love one another when everything is perfect, everything is beautiful, everything is nice, yeah? But can you truly love someone through the difficult time in your life with them? But then I say, okay, how do I express that? A pearl was not intended to be created, even if it's beautiful. It was an irritation, it was a pain in an oyster trying to cover its wound. You know, it was an intrusion that created pain in an oyster. And the oyster feels the pain, so what he's doing is he's trying to cover the roughness of life here. And then slowly, this pain is covered, and it's smoother and smoother, and it creates beautiful layer, and it shines like a jewel. I think that's beautiful. I decided to drill the pearl, insert the diamond in the center. The center then represents the pain, and the pearl represents the aura of love that had created. And that's why, you know, I call it the symbol of love, diamond in the pearl. And I made it for my wife. I didn't intend to invent the Da Vinci cut. The creativity is a process of playing and a sense of wonder within you, like a child plays, you know. You know, you make a copy of a DVD out of your computer, and you pick up the DVD, and you see a rainbow. I see it all the time, and it's fascinating. It keeps floating in my head. So, you know, I want to know how this works. How does this color come from? Of course, I study everything about light, spectrum, and after that process, I'm kind of become an optical engineer, and that's how I decided to create the Da Vinci cut. I say, now I understand how light works. Maybe I can create a gemstone that be able to reflect color, to come into a stone and generate different color out of it. So I create the Da Vinci cut that have very interesting facet that be able to change a topaz, which is blue, into purple, blue, green, multiple color. When I was young, I read everything about Da Vinci, you know. The quote that I like as an artist, be a mirror, absorb everything around you and still remain the same. And I like that because he teaches me to be completely honest to myself. But learn as much as you can, but not to be contaminated with what's out there, so you can be original. And I like that. So, and this gemstone is perfect for what he said. You know, it absorbs everything, but it still remains the same. And the color changes, but he still remains the same. So, Da Vinci cut. Pearl flower collection is an adaptation to my car pearl. Every month you were born in, you have a color stone. Every month you were born in, you also have a flower. So I think a person who was born on each month, you stuck with it. You know, if you happen to like a rose, but you were born in, you know, September, you have a different flower. So to me, it's a way to express that you happen to born in that month, and you happen to born in this universe through the condition of your life, the way you are. Whether you're a daisy or a rose, that's what you are. And then that's what makes you unique and beautiful the way you are. And accept that. And find the beauty within that flower that you were born. How do I come up with the Capitan collection? I want to make jewelry for men that it means something, so it's not just a decoration for him, you know. And I say to myself, what is meant? And you need to be completely honest with yourself when you ask that question. I think naturally, men want to be king. He want to be the captain. You know, I sound egotistic here, but it's true. Deep inside us, we want this. We want to be the captain. We want to be the leader. We want to rule. We want to conquer the world. We want to take good care of our family and the people around us. This is our instinct. We want to be that hero, that captain. I said, you know, I need to create imagery that means the most to me, and how life have changed me to become the man I am. So that's how I create every piece in the Capitan collection. It symbolizes something, it means something to me. And hopefully people relate to it, and then they can, you know, connect it to men that wear the kind of jewelry I'm making. I rarely enter a contest in my all this year. You know, I don't really believe in competition, because competition to yourself is what you need to do. Okay, how can I outdo myself on this? You know, more people would display the pearl and enter the contest because it's a pearl competition. You know, so what I do is I break them. I break 16mm pearl, which is very expensive. You're not about, you're out of your mind if you're trying to break a 16mm pearl. So I crack 2 of them in half, and then I reconstruct them into a flower, and I took the inside of it all out, only the nacre left over, and I inlay gold within it. You know, so basically I destroy the whole thing. The way that we think about pearl in the past, giving it new value and new vision to what you possibly can do to a pearl. Creativity to me is a process of expressing oneself, or not losing oneself in the process of living, and I think that's what it's all about. So I should say I'm a creative person, and maybe that's it, you know. And I do everything. I write, I paint, I invent, I do everything creatively. So if you truly want to see the world, then you must learn to see with the eye like a child. See it without label. See it without name. See it for what it is, how light is reflected upon it, so that you can truly see it for itself. I have a process that is honest to me. Every piece of jewelry that I make, first, it must enter the eyes. Second, it must enter the mind. And third, it must touch the heart. If a piece of jewelry or a design that I make missing one of those percentages, then I have missed the point that arouses our human emotions or the way we behave. Living without a dream is worthless living. Dreaming it without living it is worthless a dream. But when dreams end, living begins.